In July 1954, a man arrived at the Haneda airport in Tokyo on an international flight. He was alone. He'd come from a place called Taured. It was a Tuesday. The man strolled through the arrival gate at around 8 p.m., just like any other traveler. He was well-dressed, calm, and fluent in French, German, Italian, and apparently Japanese. He also spoke with an accent from somewhere in Europe. He presented his passport to the customs officer. It was stamped and sealed. Everything checked out. The officer even verified the passenger's visa online. But that's when the weirdness started. The man filled out an entry questionnaire declaring he'd arrived from Taured. Then he circled the country on the map. He put his pin right between France and Spain, roughly where Andorra is today. The officer was confused. Andorra is a small, sovereign country. It's been there for centuries. So why had he never heard of Taured? The officer asked if Mr. Jones, yes, that was his name, knew about Andorra. He said he did. In fact, he'd visited Andorra several times before, including once this year, and he'd even been to Japan before. Twice in 1952 and once in 1953, all of which was documented in his passport. But something wasn't adding up. Mr. Jones was getting irritated. He insisted Taured had existed for more than 1,000 years and had its own language, its flag, customs, even a royal family. The officer, still suspicious, detained the man for further questioning, placing him in a hotel room close to the airport with 2 guards posted outside the door. His briefcase with his personal documents and currency from several countries was secured. The next morning, Jones was gone. The man who'd stepped out of a plane from a country that didn't exist had vanished. There was no sign of him escaping. The locks on the door and windows were intact. There was no noise, and strangely, so was his briefcase. Japanese authorities launched an investigation, searching the surrounding area, checking hospitals and morgues, even retracing his steps back to the airport. They found nothing. And here's where things get weirder. As far as the Japanese government was concerned, Mr. Jones had never existed. His name didn't appear anywhere in their system. He had no record in any embassy. His fingerprints didn't match any known database. There were no criminal records or aliases. He was a ghost. For what it's worth, Japanese police did release a statement claiming they'd found traces of the man, but it wasn't much. A few months later, they reported questioning someone matching his description, but that person claimed to have no memory of being in Japan. Maybe he had slipped into dementia after an unremarkable trip to Tokyo. Maybe he was a conman, a spy using a fictional cover, or a mentally ill traveler with an elaborate delusion. Or maybe, just maybe, he was a dimensional anomaly, a man from a parallel Earth where Taured was real. A world where history took a different path, and a tiny sovereign nation existed nestled between France and Spain. A world where he may have accidentally slipped through a dimensional rift by mistake. There are 2 main versions of the story. One says the man came through a portal during a volcanic eruption near Mount Fuji. Another says he simply walked through the wrong door at the airport and stepped into another dimension. How he got back, if he got back, is anyone's guess. Today, the man from Taured is a staple of fringe theory, conspiracy lore, and time travel debates. He's been referenced in paranormal books and Reddit threads. There are even statues in his likeness in Japan. Most recently, he popped up in Netflix's Russian Doll, a dark comedy about a woman reliving the same night over and over again. In the show, the character is trapped in a time loop, doomed to repeat the same day until she fixes a glitch in the Matrix. Quest takes her to a mysterious dimension, one she can access through a bathroom at the Time Hotel in Shinjuku, Tokyo, a location said to be inspired by the Taured mystery. But no one can prove the event happened in 1954, or any other year for that matter, or disprove it. Some claim it's an urban legend that spiraled out of an old Japanese news report. Others swear the case files exist and were scrubbed. Still others believe the government, ours or theirs, knows more than they're telling. I'm inclined to think he's a real man who had a very fake passport. I'm sure he's alive somewhere. Maybe he learned his lesson and decided to live out the remainder of his life under an assumed name. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.